School to reopen where possible on Wednesday following passage of tropical storm. Schools across the island will reopen for face-to-face classes on Wednesday, where the regional and school leaders say it is safe to do so, the Office of the Prime Minister has announced. The OPM said in a press release that the decision was made following comprehensive consultations with the Meteorological Service of Jamaica and the Office of the Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management. It added that a careful assessment of current weather conditions affecting the island was undertaken ahead of the announcement. Schools island-wide were ordered closed on Tuesday in response to safety concerns associated with the passage of tropical storm Rafael. Parents and guardians are encouraged to contact their school leadership for updates on the reopening of their children's institution. Schools have been instructed to activate their communication channel with their key stakeholders to facilitate informed decision-making and timely dissemination of information, the press noted. It further advised that where face-to-face classes cannot be facilitated, remote learning should continue through virtual platform, television lessons, computer aid programs, learning kits, assigned tasks for textbooks and worksheets, and other valuable modalities. The Minister of Education, Skills, Youth and Information added that the priority is safety and education of the nation's children. Spanish Town lockup inmate dies suddenly. The Independent Commission of Investigation has launched a probe into the sudden death of an inmate at the Spanish Town lockup in St. Catherine. He has been identified as Michael Bryan, a 51-year-old mason of Montmoreland, Cycleville, St. Catherine. It is reported that about 3:40 p.m. on Monday, Bryan, who was being held at charge of rape, complained of being ill. He was assisted to the Spanish Town Hospital for treatment where he died. Saved by divine instruction. Ezra Willis does not consider himself a prophet despite the biblical underpinning of his name, but 2 months ago the resident of McGashen in the hills of St. Andrew got what he now realizes was divine instruction to move his container shop from the curb in the farming community where it had stood for years. On Monday, Willis, along with several others from the community, marveled at the gaping hole into which 80 meters of the road has collapsed, taking with it his childhood home, which fortunately was unoccupied when disaster struck sometime Saturday night. He, like others, had retired to bed on Saturday night with the road intact, and today, break Sunday, the residents awoke to find themselves marooned in the community, which also served as an alternative route for Golden Spring in St. Andrew to Junction in St. Mary. I've lived here for the past 40-odd years. You see that little hole right there? That was where I grew up, Willis said, pointing to the remnants of his childhood home among the rumbles of the asphalted road. After a while I moved. That's my home back there. About 2 months ago I realized this place moving because I saw some holes behind the container. The container is now over there, but immediately as I realized the place was moving, I got some men and we drew off the container from there, and within 2 months the piece of land disappeared, a composed Willis told reporters. So it's like Father God speak and say, time to move this container. So I moved the container. If not, you would have to pick up all of that over there, so, he said, pointing to the farmhouse used by coffee farmers at crop time, which had also been disturbed by the breakaway. Charging that lack of maintenance of the road over the years is the reason for the trauma now behind the experience by residents, Willis is adamant that the authorities will need to act fast. We want to know how long them are going to take for really come because we live here and we have vehicle. We can't sit down here 4 to 5 years and wait for them to fix it. Nobody can go to school. And this morning we start to chop this track, he said, gesturing to the curb pathway he and others have been carving since Sunday to enable residents to travel out of the community. We need a whole heap of help. Help like hell we need right now. Tell the government not to sit down on this because we don't have no alternative. We need road, Willis insisted. Is that God attack? He was signaling. If you were looking, you would realize something was going to happen, he added. His neighbor Sean Hamilton, who was among those working busily to carve foothold into the muddy mountainside for a path, is also of the view that the road cannot be abandoned by the authorities, as was done some years ago when other sections collapsed. This can never condemn because this was an alternative route from Golden Spring to the junction. Whenever time Temple Hall main road block, this is what they use all the way through Brandon Hill to St. Mary. So this cut off now. There was another route and it cut off from 2011. So there is no more alternative routes, he told reporters. The area, he said, is also the other import aside from being a supplier of coffee. This is where you get water from to drink, he told the reporters, adding, this is the Ginger River. It serves the Hermitage Dam, and it serves Constant Spring. This water goes there to be treated. One resident of the neighboring Mount Eyre community, who declined to give her name, was among several others who journeyed to McGashin to look at the collapsed road. It's bad, really bad. I've never seen anything like this. Just put God in front of you and take a quick look, she said, nudging the reporter to venture beyond a pink ribbon that residents had used to use as a boundary marker. I heard everybody talking about it, but I leave my ear to see it for myself. And I am so scared. I had to stay right there and peep. I work on this road when it's a bill, a whole flag, she said, and claimed that recent earthquakes have played a role in the disaster. My care left a road, one man remarked, while clambering down on the makeshift hillside track that had become the community only link to adjoining areas. At the climate change thing with them a one about a guan, I broke it a broke way. All right where you stand up there, so just drop off with you, miss. Another resident told the reporter as he too made his way down to the hillside path. Opposition People's National Party first-time counsel for Brandon Hill Division, Sheena Richards, who visited the area alongside party candidate for St. Andrew West Rural, Joan Garden Webley, to distribute care packages, said the disaster was a second baptism of fire. Hurricane Beryl was the first. We were taking some packages to persons over on the other side, the elderly, especially the shut-ins. We are aware that National Works Agency will be doing their assessment. We await their report. To the naked eye, it appears quite devastating, but they are the technical people. We look to see if it can be salvaged, and funding is something that I'm sure will come in play, Richards told reporters. The worst part about it is that there was a breakaway from 2011 in the area further around, and it was from there that they would have accessed the bypass, so it's not just affecting McGashin, it's affecting Mount Herbert and the Brandon Hill because all the communities are connected, she noted. One resident who pitched in to help others traverse the new terrain said while the situation is a huge negative, there are some positives. Disaster is not nice, but trust me, we love it because it brings people together. We like disaster, he said, while offering to help distribute the food packages brought by Richards. On Sunday, Manager of Communication and Customer Service at National Works Agency Stephen Shaw told reporters that the entity had been alerted about the development. We are aware. I don't know that there's an alternative route, but from what I've seen in the report, it's a massive earth movement that has taken place, Shaw said, adding that given the magnitude of the damage, there would be no quick fix for residents. Or says utilities mobilize as storm or fill brings flood and landslides. The Office of Utility Regulations, or says Jamaica's 4 major utility providers have all activated response protocols to manage potential disruptions from the effects of Tropical Storm Rafael, which passed near the island Tuesday. Landslides, flood streets, and damaged roadways have been reported in several parishes. In a statement Tuesday afternoon, the utilities regulator said that the Jamaica Public Service Company (JPS), the country's main power provider, telecoms firms Flow and Digicel, and the National Water Commission (NWC) have provided updates on their response. At a November 5th meeting, JPS informed the OR that it has activated its Incident Command Center, pledging daily reports to both the OR and the Ministry of Science, Energy, Telecommunications and Transport. JPS, which faced significant government and public backlash over its response to Hurricane Beryl in July, will provide status updates on system impact, customer restoration, resource allocation, and any areas needing collaboration. Telecommunication companies Flow and Digicel have mobilized their business continuity teams and implemented mitigated measures, while the NWC has set up public advisories on service impacts and restoration actions, the OR stated. In keeping with its powers, which include to direct, investigate, conquer inquiries, request information, review maintenance plan, and approve and monitor quality standards, the OR will maintain frequent contact with the utility providers and keep the public updated in relation to any impact of this tropical storm on service delivery and any related restoration efforts that were noted. Remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.